Hello, welcome back to the Football Terrace. Good afternoon to each and every single one of you. The transfer window continues to roll on, and do you know what? The football sort of depression amongst Manchester United fans continues to pick up at an almighty rate. My Twitter feed has been an absolute on fire all morning and now all afternoon. But we're here to talk about some of the situations going on at Manchester United. Also going to touch on Arsenal Football Club as well. And look, I'll answer as many of your questions in the live comments as possible. Before we go into these stories in a bit more detail, please do me a big favour. First of all, hit that like button for me and hit that share button as well. A wonderful way that you can support us here on the channel. And I want to shout out our Patreon page. Already sort of 25, 26 of you have very, very kindly agreed to sign up and help to support the channel financially and help us grow. What we have done today is changed our memberships and changed our tier offerings to you. So we now have a much cheaper option that gives you very basic access to the channel, just over £2 per person. And we've also added an ultimate access range, which will give you more attendance, free attendances to our live events that we're going to host, and your very own top of the range Football Terrace snapback hat, as well as all the other merchandise as well. So if you go into the description below and check out the link to our Patreon page, you can look at the 4 different tier options that we now have available. And if you do want to get involved and support the Football Terrace further, thank you very, very much. Because you know how much, you know how humbling we find that. Super chat here, who says, no wind up, is it true Woodward is meeting Bruno Fernandes' agent? We're gonna jump in. We're gonna talk about Bruno Fernandes. We're gonna talk about Dybala. We're gonna talk about Kieran Tierney. We're gonna look at the situation with Coutinho. There's also been an update regarding RB Leipzig when it comes to Upamecano. I can't say his name. His name's gone out of my head. I had the name down, and now it's gone again. But we're gonna speak about all those things. And there we go. Terry, the green screen is so real. Yeah, I know. My green screen, my graphics and my graphic design skills are improving massively. Not only have I managed to create a green screen that is flawless behind me, I've also managed to hire all these actors to pose on my camera to do what they've got to do. So yeah, it's one of those things. Someone here saying, man like Terry. Hello, my friend. Jimmy Woo says, George Mendes is meeting Woodward for the De Gea contract, not Bruno. But let's delve into that, and let's start off with the Bruno Fernandes situation first of all, then, because you guys all seem very eager to talk about that. Now, the Bruno Fernandes situation is a real interesting one for me, because what I've been reading today is that Manchester United have agreed a 6-year contract with the player via whether Jorge Mendes is involved or not is almost irrelevant at this point. What the media are telling us is that Man United have agreed a 6-year contract with Bruno Fernandes. The stumbling point isn't any issue with Ollie not wanting the player or the player not wanting to join Manchester United. The stumbling block, what we are told by the journalists, is that Manchester United are not willing to pay the 64 or 65 million pound price tag being bounded about. And if that's the only stumbling block, I'm absolutely miffed. If that is true, I am absolutely miffed beyond belief, because this player has scored over 50 and created over 36 goals. So 80 plus goals he has been directly involved with as an assist or a goal. Not to mention probably the umpteen goals that he's been involved intricately in the build-up play for. Get it paid. Pay the money. Look, Adrian here says pay the money. Malk117 says get it paid. And that's absolutely it. You know, this story, I'm trying to find it here. I've just lost it on my screen a few moments ago. But for me, when I read this, I was honestly shaking my head in disbelief. If we've really agreed that it's 65 million, I get there's not an endless supply. I get there's not a bottomless pit of money. But 65 million pound for one of the most potent, most deadly central midfielders in European football, I think is a snip. It would appease the fans. I don't think it's a panic buy, because it's a player that I fervently believe that Man United have been chasing for the entirety of the summer. Just get it done. By the way, that's if this transfer rumour is true. So I think we have to factor that in when we're talking here. That rumour in itself may not necessarily be true. Gail Adam says our CEO is a loser and so are our owners. Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you there. I think that for what we need, they're not up to par. It's as simple as that, and I think everybody's pretty much in agreement on that. Daniel here says, pay the money, FFS, we all know what that means, badly needed. Ahmed says, I'm sick and tired about Man United transfer dilemmas. Every day, some negative transfer rumour. Yes, and that's the thing, isn't it? You're always going to have negativity in life because everybody's a little bit selfish, really. Everybody wants... We could have signed Bruno Fernandes, but there would still be people moaning that, oh, but we didn't get Pepe, we didn't go for Sancho, I would have preferred Savic, I would have preferred this, I would have preferred that. You're always going to get an element of that. Tom here of the Super Chat says, Terry, can you see United signing anyone else? It's a really good question, and yes, essentially I can. I can see Man United making another sign-in. I just hope that it's not a panic buy. I hope it's somebody that we've been inquiring about for over the course of the summer. I hope it's somebody that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer legitimately wants and thinks can improve things. Red Tie says, where are you? I'm currently in Dublin Airport. I had a couple of meetings today, one first thing in the morning, well, about 10:30, 11 o'clock, and then one just now that finished in some meeting rooms just around the corner. So my flight's not till much later on. I didn't know how long my meetings would be, so I didn't book my return flights until like 7 o'clock this evening. So I'm kind of here, I'm chilling, I'm not even inside I haven't even gone through security yet. I just thought I'll chill here for a bit, watch a movie or two, and then crack on from there. That's what I was going to do. Let's move on and talk about the Dybala situation. This is a real interesting one for me. I'm just trying to get the information up here in front of me again. So it says here, Dybala twist. It says, good afternoon and welcome to our Manchester United live blog. It says, we've started this afternoon and it appears that Manchester United could yet land Paulo Dybala from Juventus despite Tottenham Hotspur's interest. The Argentinian international is wanted by United as part of the deal that would see Lukaku head to Turin. And a number of Italian journalists have said that Dybala is now willing to lower his wage demands and his agent is willing to drop the percentage of fee that they initially demanded from Manchester United. They tell me Dybala has repented and would now like to go to Manchester United. He is being clever. And when I read that, first of all, we don't know if it's true. We don't know if it's true in any way, shape or form. So let's take it with a pinch of salt. In reality, we don't know. But let us look at it from a hypothetical situation. Has Dybala really changed his mind about wanting to play for Man United? And if so, why? Nothing has changed at our football club in the past 48 hours. We haven't suddenly... just nothing's changed. I can't even give you an example because there isn't one. Nothing has changed in 48 hours. We still have the same problems. We're still, I think, moving in the right direction. We've still got some holes in our squad. There are still lots of problems at the club that need to be resolved over the next 12 to 18 months. Someone says, is this a live show? Yes, it is. It's live. We are live. So what's changed his mind? Is it that he wants to leave Juve now because he realises he's going to be such a fringe player this season, he's not really going to get any game time? Is it because Tottenham, who have put in a bid, are not willing to get anywhere near the wages that Manchester United have offered? And they're also not willing to even pay as much as we were willing to pay in terms of the agent fees. Is that what's changed his mind? Because if it is, if this journalist is right that he's repenting and he feels sorry and he wants to renegotiate, what's his motivation? Because United have already tried to sell him the dream and he's not said no to Man United, but United weren't convinced that he wanted to join the club. And I think it's important to remember and place the direct narrative here. Dybala didn't reject Man United. We pulled away from negotiations because we were not convinced and Ole was not convinced that he was truly bought into the idea of coming to the club. They're now saying he's willing to drop his wage demands and trying to sell it like he's trying to prove to Man United that he'd rather come. But I smell a bit of a rat. One, I don't know if this story is true, and I want your opinions on that. Secondly, is it because nobody else has come in for him and offered him the same level of money Man United did, and he's going, okay, well, maybe I'm going to have to take a little bit less from United, but I can still get big money if I go there as opposed to Tottenham or somewhere else. This is from Joseph, who says, Terry, are we getting any players? Our window is finished. Joseph, we don't know. I think United will sign one more player, but none of us know. We don't know if it is actually going to happen. John McDonald here says, Terry, this transfer window is like a merry-go-round. We are a joke when it comes to transfers. You're not going to get you're not going to get me disagreeing with that. We are, without doubt, one of the poorest elite level clubs at getting these deals over the line. Initially, in the early days of Woodward, I think he was poor at negotiating them. I think his relations and his rapport building with football clubs, agents and players was terrible. Him and his team. The issue we now have is that because we've fallen so far from grace, it's also hard to attract the right people. They've seen how many good players have come to this club, and because they haven't been right for the manager, because they haven't been who the coach wanted, or they haven't fit the style, or there hasn't been the right levels of disciplines and the right principles at the club, they've failed. So lots of players are apprehensive about coming because of the last 6 to 7 years of history. You add all that together, and it's a disgusting tasting cocktail that is not fit for breeding and creating success. Jimmy Woo says, less than 24 hours left, sign anyone now, man. That's where I disagree with you slightly. And you mentioned some names there, Savic, Bruno, Longstaff. Some of them players I would like, but we shouldn't just go with the sort of narrative that we have to just sign anybody. That's panic buying. That's another reason that Man United have created a mediocre squad on so many occasions over the course of the last 6 to 7 years. We need to buy players that, one, Ollie wants, secondly, have the mentality, the mindset, determination, heart and passion, and the skill set to fit the system that Ollie and the club have agreed to move in. Without that, you risk Schweinsteigers, Schneiderlins, Falcao's, Angel Di Maria's over and over and over again. Fellaini's, Lukaku's, players that just don't fit. And then you end up with then Ollie goes because it falls apart again, and you just continue with this hybrid squad that's a mismatch of 3 or 4 different coaches, 3 or 4 different eras of football, 3 or 4 different styles, different philosophies, different work ethics, different fitness levels. And it's, again, you are not going to create a conducive environment that is going to yield success, wins, and more important than anything else, trophies. Let's touch a little bit on the Arsenal situation here, because we did say we'd speak about them. Iwobi has been subjected to I believe it's a £30 million bid from Everton. They've also bid for Smalling, which has been rejected as well, which shocked many, but not me. Smalling is the best of Rojo, Jones, and of course himself, Smalling. So it's no surprise that we rejected the bid for him. Also shows he's the best because he's the one that Everton have come in for. Who knew? But Iwobi's had a £30 million bid placed upon his name. There's no real official word yet as to whether or not Arsenal will accept, whether they'll reject it. If he does go, I know Mr. DT will be absolutely buzzing, because it's a good amount of money to get in for a player like Iwobi. But there's some Arsenal fans that try and convince us that he's at the standard of a Wilfried Zaha, as an example. And Zaha's a £70+ million player. That's what people are going to have to pay for him. Your Pepe's of this world, 72 million. £30 million in the current market demonstrates 2 things. Either one, Everton are getting an absolute bargain of a lifetime, but it also shows that Arsenal are not that bothered about keeping him. It also clearly won't be in Unai Emery's plans. They're willing to let him go. However, there are a lot of people that felt that Arsenal would have to sell some players and raise some money with the amount of individuals they're going after. You think they might be landing Coutinho. They could be landing Coutinho. They also could be landing Kieran Tierney. They're going to need to raise some funds from somewhere. They're not going to go a whole summer without selling anybody. £30 million to me, I think, is a fair amount of money for a player of Iwobi standard, and also a player that's not loved and wanted at the club. You also remember that when a team like Everton buys a player like Iwobi, they'll always get him for a cheaper price than, say, if Liverpool wanted him, because of the enterprise value of the football club, the sporting potential of signing that player, and the riches that come with the popularity and the merchandise and marketability that a team like Liverpool has in comparison to Everton Football Club. Kieran Tierney as well, we'll speak about that. It's a real interest. Someone says Iwobi is better than Rashford. Come on, please don't delude yourself. He is not better than Rashford, not in any way, shape or form. And if he was better than Rashford, if he truly was better than Rashford, Arsenal Football Club would not be selling him. Arsenal wouldn't be selling him if he was at Rashford standard. He wouldn't be getting sold by Arsenal. Straight. Just over 2,000 people tuning in. That's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for doing that. If you haven't done so already, please hit the like button. Please hit the share button as well. Get this stream out on all your social media profiles. That'd be great. And also a big really want to encourage as many of you as possible, if you can, if it's affordable, if it's something you would like to help us with, to sign up to our Patreon page. We've added 2 new membership tiers today, ranging from £2 a month right up to our all-encompassing package, which is just over £30 per month. We don't expect many people to sign up to the higher level package. That'll be for some. That'll be for a couple of people I know are really dedicated to helping us. But if you do want to dedicate a little bit of money each month to help this channel grow, help to fund the real big projects that we're working on, we still need more new equipment, and we really want to try and create some of the best content available. The issue you have is that everybody wants paying. And I get that, because it's people's time, and a lot of people do this for a living. And we've reached out to a number of really good journalists, really good sort of social media personalities, as well as sort of boxers, singers. Some will come on. Some are lined up to come on for nothing, but there are a few that want kind of small fees. We need to try and raise some money to do that, so we can try and create some of the best content available for you. The link to our description, the link to our Patreon page is inside the description below. Terry, improve quality, not quantity. That's exactly it. That's exactly what we're trying to do as a channel here. Of course, there's going to be lots of content that comes out from us, because we review pretty much every single top 6 game. We're also going to be having 2 or 3 videos a week from the likes of Neeks and Adam going into next year. But when it comes to the TF show, we've got our top 6 preview show that's starting, which will cover every single top 6 game, or we'll do a preview for it. That's called The Squad. That's all coming out, and of course the podcast as well. We want to try and create some real good quality content for you. The way I stream to you guys right now through the iPhone, this is all going to continue. We're not going to move away from what we've originated from and what's helped us get to this fantastic position already. But we do want to enhance things for you. So if you can spare a few pounds a month to become a Patreon member, the link for that is in the description below. If you can't, look, you're hitting that like button, hitting that share button, subscribing to us is also amazing support. So thank you again from the bottom of my heart. Let's talk a little bit about Kieran Tierney. Now, been linked with Arsenal all summer. There's been all sorts of rumours that he's coming, he's going, he's staying. Nobody really knows. There's 24 hours to get it done. Reports today are telling us that Arsenal were very, very close. However, they have been saying that Arsenal are close to signing Kieran Tierney now for about 7 to 8 weeks. Will it get done? I think it will if Iwobi leaves. I'm now convinced that Arsenal need to sell somebody before bringing another player in. Especially if they're talking to Upamecano, especially if they're talking to Barcelona about the Philippe Coutinho situation. I can't see all 3 of those deals happening without at least one player leaving. And what I would really like to pose, the question I'd really like to pose here to Arsenal fans is, of the 3 you're linked with, Upamecano, Coutinho, Tierney, which of the 3 do you think is most important and most imperative to you improving? If you can only sign one, which would you go with? We'll start doing some of your live comments here. This is from Xavier, who says, Dybala will fit Ollie's fast-paced style. He is young, fast, and a creator, and will give at least 5 great years playing at world-class level. I hope so. We need Bruno Fernandes in that midfield, is what Anthony has said. El Neni going to be a huge for the future. Yeah, El Neni was so prominent. Do you know what the thing with Iwobi and El Neni at Arsenal? When I first saw them both play for the club, I thought, wow, these 2 look very, very talented. The issue that you have when you're young and you break onto the scene and less people know about you is that sometimes you look, it definitely does at times, it elevates your quality. Because although you're young and you're fresh and there's lots to improve on, people don't know your game. So they don't know whether you're showing you down the line or showing you inside is best. They don't know if we're putting him onto his left, will it help him? Some players get put off by physicality, others it enhances their game because they absolutely buzz off of it. So when you're an unknown quantity, when you're young and when the tacticians are still working out what works and what doesn't with you, you can sometimes benefit from that. And I think Iwobi and El Neni did. However, a move away to a smaller club with less pressure may be exactly what's needed for them. And that's always been my issue and my worry surrounding Wilfried Zaha, that I don't know whether if he moves to a big club with the pressure on his shoulders where he's expected to perform each and every single week, whether he has the minerals and the ability to be able to do that. He was obviously a lot younger when he joined Manchester United. And maybe he's got his excuses, maybe he feels he was mistreated. But what I can see from the outside looking in, And if I don't have the right level of information on this, I apologise. But it just felt to me like he couldn't quite cut it at the highest level. Yash Singh here says, keep going, bro. Love from India. I'm repeating it because I'm excited. I appreciate you saying that, my man. Thank you. South London's Finest says, Upamecano and Zaha have handed in transfer requests, Terry. Wow, I didn't know that. I obviously haven't read that. And that's what I love about the transfer window. There's so much news, it's almost impossible to sit there and cope with it. Zaha may have handed in a transfer request, but I very much doubt that he's going to end up at Arsenal now. Not after you've signed Pepe. And again, if you sign Zaha, you play with a front three, right? Where's he going to fit? Even if you went 4-2-3-1, you can't get on the field at the same time. Aubameyang, Wilfried Zaha, Lacazette and Pepe. So who drops out, who leaves? Are you going to sell one of those last minute? I'd love to know. I'm an Arsenal fan and I like Terry. That's God 666. It's kind of a cool name, that. God followed by the devil. I like it. Thank you. The girl behind you blew a kiss, did she? Oh, okay, I don't know who they are. I'm sorry. Sky Sports News reporting. Neeks, are Sky Sport News reporting something? Or are you just doing that because I'm out here doing it? Do you know what's funny? Like, at least no one's come over and put like a sex toy in my ear or anything. Do you know, I do miss that on deadline day, Sky Sports News being outside a football ground. I miss that, I really, really do. Terry, you missed a super chat. Oh, did I? I'm really sorry. Let me try and go back and find it. I found it. Where's the super chat? There it is. That is from Sasko, who says, love the channel, but you never talk about Chelsea. It's not strictly true. I do speak about Chelsea. We've got a Chelsea Man United preview coming out on Friday. I've done a number of videos earlier on in the transfer window talking about Sarri in and Sarri out. But the Football Terrace, we pretty much dedicate the entire transfer window to talking about transfers. 99% of the videos are about that. And because Chelsea have a transfer ban, there just hasn't been any content for us to make, considering the amount of news about other football clubs. And we kind of do 2 to 3 streams per day. Neeks has just put Sky Sports reporting Zaha transfer request. Everton front line could be Richarlison, Keane and Zaha. Yeah, that's dangerous. That is dangerous. And that's an improvement on last year. It really is. And it throws out those questions, doesn't it? It throws out those questions again, like Leicester, Everton, West Ham's name comes up, Wolverhampton Wanderers are there. Are any of these teams going to be able to break into that top 6, maybe even into that top 4? Are they going to be able to do it, or are they a few years behind? Who knows? But with a front line, I mean, Richarlison, I think, is a very talented player. Again, started the season well last year, kind of went off the boil towards the end, but he's young. He's going to get better and better. Terry, Lukaku's been sold, news just out. If Neeks is still watching, confirm whether that's true or not for me, please, bruv. Confirm whether that's true or not for me. And also check out, we released it this morning at 11 o'clock. We had Yannick, who is a City fan. We had Bubbles, who's a Liverpool supporter. And of course, Adam and Neeks were on the show yesterday, the FT show. We've released the footage for that. It's on the channel. So go check out our homepage and watch our preview. We are predicting in that who we think is going to win the Premier League. So go and check it out. Hit the like button on that and share that for us as well. The clock is ticking. Sign a midfielder, God damn it, is what Tanks has said. Breaking, Watford signed free agent Danny Welbeck. That could be true, because I see Watford tweet a picture of an empty chair about an hour ago. So that's actually something you're saying that I think could come to fruition. Danny Welbeck needs a club. He obviously doesn't live far from Watford if he's been playing for Arsenal, but there we go. I'm going to get my phone up. I've moved a little bit too far away to keep reaching over. I'm going to get my stream up in front of me, and I'm going to get the live chat up in front of me and see what you all is saying. Welbeck to Watford is announced. Fair enough, Danny Welbeck. There we go. Daniel Costa here says, I feel like Iwobi is either going to be a Wilcott or a late bloomer, which is no good for Arsenal's current situation. No disrespect, Iwobi's a tier below Wilcott. Theo Wilcott had some seasons where he scored over 20 goals, I'm pretty sure of that. Theo Walcott scored hat-tricks for England. Theo Walcott scored some big goals in important games. I think Theo Walcott was I actually think I was probably better technically than him, but when it comes to the crunch, when it comes to the big games, when it comes to scoring goals, Theo Walcott, in my opinion, delivered more than him. Zaha handed in a transfer request, is what Sean has said. There we go. Neek Sports. Yeah, by the way, guys, you see the comment there from Neek Sports. Please do me a favour and go and follow Neek Sports. There's like 2,100 of you watching. A few hundred of you go subscribe to Neek Sports right now for me. That'd be amazing. It says no official Lukaku news except that he'll be fined for missing training without permission. Yeah, I heard that, and I also spoke to somebody today that actually told me that United had sent him away. He's being fined for different reasons because of his insubordinate behaviour, and that him and Pogba have had a really big falling out over his behaviour as well. So crazy. But whatever happens, I just want to see the back of Lukaku now. His behaviour has been absolutely atrocious. David Luiz wants to go to Arsenal. Really? I don't believe that. I don't believe it. A few people asking for BBC reporting training fine. Maybe it's that. Either way, he's being fined. A few people asking for a recap, so we'll go through and do that. Essentially this. We spoke about Kieran Tierney and Iwobi already, so we'll touch on the big news which is surrounding Manchester United. First and foremost, Dybala. Reportedly, he's repenting and he feels sorry and he's apologising to Man United. He knows that him and his agent were maybe a little bit greedy in the offerings, and maybe it's giving the impression to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer that they are not interested in the Man United project and rebuilding the club and being part of his team to playing his image. They now believe that Man United have got an opportunity to sign Dybala. Dybala and his people want to reopen conversations. First question to you always: do you think that's true? Do you think that's an authentic story? The second point I would pose, if it is true, is what's his motivation? Because nothing's changed in the world of Man United in the last few days. Is he looking at us as being a golden ticket because Spurs and anybody else that's interested in him has offered even less money than we did? The second bit of news is that Man United have reportedly agreed a 6-year contract with Bruno Fernandes. Everything is agreed with the player, with the agent, fees, the lot. The only stumbling block is that Woodward will not sanction a £65 million bid, which Sporting Lisbon are demanding happens to get this deal sealed and to go through. Again, I want to know your thoughts on the authenticity of that. Let's try and validate it together, debunk it, whichever it may be. But if it is true, let's sit here in a kind of hypothetical situation. Should he be paying us £65 million? Should he be paying that £65 million to get this deal done and to get this deal sewn up? Clove here says, Terry with the best screen on YouTube. Yeah, it's amazing, right? Absolutely stunning. I've even managed to get like the little computer screen behind me. I don't know what's on that computer screen. Oh, it's like advertising. It's a flicker. That's the attention to detail. It's like the Matrix. Nobody behind me is real either. They're not real people. Terry looks like you have an admirer behind you. No, people just look at what you're doing and it's, yeah. But they're nice here in Ireland. Everybody's nice and polite. In London, people will be coming over and moaning. Where are you getting all these rumours from? The internet. Major mainstream media outlets. Just go and look. Let's talk about Smalling and the Everton bid for a moment. A lot of people, again, getting their knickers in a twist. Smalling is the better option of Jones and Rojo and him. He's the best of the three. He's the least injury prone of the three. So I completely understand why he would keep Smalling over Jones and over Rojo. And again, this goes back to what I've said. In terms of logic, I can understand it. And this goes back to what we've spoken about many, many times this summer. Just because you don't rate Smalling doesn't mean that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has to agree with you. He is more than qualified, not just because he played football and he's a manager and he has his coaching badges, but because he sees these players week in, week out. That's why the bid's been rejected. Or, if he doesn't rate him and he wants him gone, they haven't bid enough money. And we shouldn't be... And there's a comment that Ole made earlier on in the season, and people, when he said Man United don't need to sell players, everybody's taken that and completely flipped the context. The context of that conversation was Man United don't need... there's not a financial need for us to sell players, so we're not going to undervalue our players and sell them at a loss or sell them below the value that we put them at. That's what he meant. If you actually listen to what was said 5 minutes before it and then afterwards, it's as clear as day. So he's right. If we do want to sell Chris Smalling, and we value him at 15 million, 20 million, 30 million, but we've been bid 50% of that, don't accept it. Why be bent over a barrel again? The prices we sold Welbeck for Hernandez for as an example were absolutely ridiculously low. Terry, should Liverpool take Coutinho back? I am torn. Maybe make him apologise. Listen, he's not going to apologise, so it's a nonsense. That's not going to happen. What I would say to you is this, and I don't know the answer to it, so it's a question. It's a real question. It's not rhetorical. How often have you seen returning players make a positive impact on a team? How often have you seen that? Where does he fit into this Liverpool side? Does it disrupt your front three? Does he go into a midfield position? If so, does that impact Keita? Oxlade-Chamberlain is back. What do you do about it? So I'm not a Liverpool fan. You know a lot more about your team and your setup than me. Please answer me that question. Let's do a few more questions here. A lot of people laughing. I know what you're all laughing at as well. I'm not going to say. Give Matic, Rohan, Sanchez for Fernandes. So you think Alexis Sanchez is going to go? You think any of those players that go, maybe, other than maybe Rojo? You think Sanchez is going to go and play for Sporting Lisbon? You think Sporting Lisbon are going to pay him over 300 grand a week? Hush, man, hush, hush, hush. Listen, everyone who's tuned in, thank you very, very much. As always, do me a big favour again. Hit the like button, hit the share button as well. Please sign up if you can to our Patreon page. The link for that is in our description below. And a big shout out as well to our title sponsors, the Football Index. If you want to get involved in the football stock market, get that app downloaded and try and make yourself some money. Our exclusive link is also inside our description below. Listen, guys, take care of yourselves. God bless, and we'll see you all again soon. Bye-bye.